morning, guys.
Good morning.
Have you guys been here all yesterday too? I know I saw you.
Yes.
You were super busy every time I saw you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. We were here.
Sorry, guys. I had an allergy attack this morning, so if I seem kind of out of it, I'm on a lot of allergy medication. I'm like, sparkly light.
Good morning, woman.
It's very frothy of you.
Well, yes, it's very easy to do this voice regardless of allergies.
That's wonderful.
In fact, it's probably easier to do when I have allergies.
Awesome. Are you guys here all 3 days?
Yes.
Awesome. So make sure you guys go by and check them out at their tables and buy their wares.
We have like so many wares, you guys.
We're like
Wares. All the wares.
so many wares.
This is a Q&A, so that means you guys are all involved. There's a microphone right in the audience.
Front
so
and
if you guys
center.
have questions,
Who's first?
and I know
Who's
you do,
first?
line up right behind this microphone and we'll get this panel started. Come
There
on
we
up.
go.
Don't be shy.
Yay.
Don't be shy. Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Dylan,
Hi, Dylan.
if you could have any quirk, which would it be?
The power to learn and absorb other quirks.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
Everybody says that. It's not cheating if you do it first. Sorry.
I would want the quirk of, I think I said this somewhere before, I would want the quirk of never saying the wrong thing. That doesn't mean I always say the right thing. That just means I never say the wrong thing. That would be a quirk I could really use, you guys.
I think I'd like a quirk like the Midas touch. So whenever I touch things, they turn to like gold, and then I can take them to the bank and get cash.
Right.
I just can't touch my fiance ever again. That'd be bad. But sorry, babe.
It's a special
Selective.
quirk, and you can be selective,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
selective Midas touch. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to be able to vanish just to trip people out, just middle of conversation.
That would be so helpful for those awkward conversations that you don't want to have, or like when you're talking to someone and you're like, I don't know what we're talking about anymore, and I don't want to be here.
As long as you get the sound effect and like a little poof of smoke whenever you disappear. Like,
Yes.
So basically you're saying you just absorbed her quirk.
Bingo.
There you go.
Well, I'm not gonna take it from her. I would not want to do that. She can keep her quirk. I'm not gonna like silence you and kill
but you have it too.
Yeah, I just have it. I learn them and have them.
Do you have to
all.
like touch them to gain it, or how does that work?
Absolutely.
Guys, watch out. She's a quirk collector.
Awesome. Hi. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Who's your favorite My Hero Academia character?
So this is a panel of narcissists. We're actors, so our favorites usually is our character, but
I have a
second to
favorite other than me,
other than you. Okay.
and it's not Bakugo. It's Todoroki. I love Todoroki. I love him. He's so emo. You know? But he's like emo with ice and fire. Sorry, I got really into that.
I was just imagining learning that quirk. Ice and fire.
Yeah, I like my character. It's true. Sorry.
I mean, I do like my character, but he's not my favorite. He's too much like me for him to be my favorite. I'm like, no, you're cool, but maybe just calm down a little. I'm with you. I like Todoroki. There's just something about the brooding ones.
Yeah.
And the fire and ice thing. I'm like, that's gonna come in really handy. Like, we're never gonna fight over the AC.
No.
We're never gonna be like, oh, it's too hot, it's too cold, because he can take care of himself. It's fine. It's relationship material, is what I'm saying.
I do like Froppy, but I think it's because I know how much fun you have with her.
She has a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I love that voice. Also,
It's a lot of fun.
there are a lot of times with characters that because we do a lot of shows together, and so people ask you to do shriek laughs a lot, and Frobby doesn't do that, and I enjoy that.
So a little backstory behind this: Jamie and actually all of you guys, I'm sure, when Oron came out, and everybody'd be like, "Can you do the Renge laugh?" And I only knew how to do it at full blast, which is really freaking loud.
Very loud.
And so they'd all look at me and go, again? Yeah. Like, Monica, stop. Or I'd be like, okay, you guys, I'm going to do the laugh. And they're all, so I've learned since. Now
It's a really good laugh.
But now I've learned because of this to go, I can't even do it. Like really quietly so that they don't have to hear.
That is somehow even creepier than the original laugh.
It's like that's
God,
the
stop
hiding
it.
in a closet laugh.
Yeah.
My inner Kyoya is just going,
Hey, who are you? What's your name?
Hello, I'm Gavin.
Hi, Gavin.
Hello. I was just wondering, outside of just Hero Aka, do you have a favorite superhero?
Thor. Don't ask why.
We know why.
I'm pretty much into the Guardians of the Galaxy, like always, all of them.
Iron Man. Don't ask me why either. Has very little to do with the Iron Man. More to do with the Robert Downey Jr. I love you, babe.
I mean, mine, Captain America for those. But, you know, I'm going to give DC a little love. Wonder Woman. She's pretty amazing. Yeah.
She's pretty wonderful.
It's in the title.
Aquaman. I know I answered before. I'm answering again. I'm just going to do that every few
You
questions.
just
I'm
want
gonna
to.
be like,
You
Aquaman.
just want to climb Jason Momoa like a tree.
Who among us?
Who doesn't?
Who among us?
You expect me to be ashamed by that? No. It's like, if I ever see him at a con, it's on. My fiance and I have an understanding. He was like, if Jason Momoa was there, I mean, I'm going to be mad if nothing happens.
You're going to have to race Brandon to climb him.
Yeah. That's
And
what.
he's fast.
Can I change my quirk answer now? Can I have Edith's quirk?
Yes.
Hi. What's your name?
I'm Annie.
Hi, Annie.
Hi, Annie.
If Class 1A was stranded in a raft in the middle of the ocean, what would happen?
We would all eat Minetta. He'd definitely be the first one to die.
That wouldn't tide us over for very long, though.
No, because it's little and
Little bitty
sticky.
bit. Yeah, it's like, ew. It'd be like that scene in The Incredibles where they're in the ocean and like Dash just like kicks the water, so they're like, and Edith would be like, I got this.
But then Mount Lady would just show up and be very irritated that they were in trouble and sit down in the water and just like the wave would send them to shore.
Sorry, I just got a mental image of all of Class 1A eating Minetta, and it was very disturbing. Like,
I mean, the next season
Well,
is supposed to
very
get really
tasty.
dark, but I don't think it's going there.
it'd be a Todoroki barbecue of Minetta.
And we could freeze some for later.
Poor Brina. She's gonna see this or hear about this and be like, "You're gonna eat me?"
She'd
Brina,
love
are
it.
you kidding? She's gonna be like, oh, I get it. I get it.
I'm a prude.
Hi, I'm Amber.
Hi,
Hi,
Amber.
I was
Amber.
Miss Joke yesterday.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you look awesome. I can't see very well because of the lights,
Right.
but hey, Teach.
What's your all's opinion on Bakugo? Like, seriously.
I think Monica's face sums it up for all of us.
I mean, not entirely. I don't care about kids, so
That's true.
ew.
So Suyu's had a few lines where she kind of pokes fun at Bakugo because why not? I really think that Suyu is like the voice of reason in the group. So like whenever Bakugo's being ridiculous, she's like, well, if you keep acting like that, you're never gonna be popular. Nobody likes you, Bakugo. Nobody likes you. And And so I don't know why, but with Cliff, for some reason, I've decided that Suyu and Bakugo are just constantly at each other. And so that's kind of our little secret whenever we're in the booth. And so whenever I have lines with Bakugo, I'm especially mean to him. So I joke, I like Bakugo as a character, but Bakugo likes Bakugo as a character. Cliff likes Bakugo. You all like Bakugo. So I'm like, I'm gonna fight for the underdogs. Todoroki. And literally anyone else.
I think Bakugo needs some serious anger management therapy.
Yeah. He does.
Literally.
I do love too. I guess like every year in Japan they do a survey of like who the most popular My Hero characters are in Japan. And Bakugo wins every freaking year. And every freaking year, Clifford has to put that stuff all over social media. And I'm like, it's gonna happen. One day Suyu's gonna take over. And you will never hear the end of it, Clifford. I really like Clifford. I don't want you guys to think that I'm like, Hulk smash Bakugo. No. Maybe a little. Hi, Todoroki.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
What's your guys' favorite ship?
I'm like a huge fan of the Enterprise, personally.
I was gonna go with a submarine, but
yeah.
unless you're
Titanic.
talking about like UPS or FedEx, because then it's definitely UPS.
Yeah, UPS, hands down. FedEx doesn't even ring the doorbell. It's ridiculous. It's
know.
Christmas season. People are stealing packages.
I'd say my favorite ship would probably be, oh gosh, I forget his name. Oh, Bakugo and Kirishima. I feel like they need to be together. They're so explosive and angry and loud.
My ship would be Mount Lady and a spin-off series about the pro heroes. That's mine. Look, it's a little Junko.
Hello.
Hi. Yes,
Hi.
Queen.
Thank you. My name is Amber, which is
Hi, Amber.
Hi.
So if you were in some sort of, I don't know, killing game per se, who do you think would win?
Not me.
Me. Me.
Yeah, Jamie.
It's me.
Wait, like us or our characters?
Either.
Same.
Oh, like in real life? Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I'm pretty
Why are you all looking at me? Like, well, Tatum would go first. That's easy.
Well, I love that everybody's like, oh, like in real life or what? And I'm just like, yes, me.
Well, it depends, because I feel like my mom has always told me that I could probably get away with like robbing banks.
Yeah.
Because she's like, your voice is so cute, and everybody thinks that you're so sweet. You could be a horrible person and nobody would know. And I'm like, you're my mom. You're not supposed to tell me these things. But so I feel like I could get pretty far. I would not get to the end. Jamie would kill me.
I'd say
team up,
typically the people with
probably.
the cute voices die faster.
Well, you did die first, didn't you?
Shh. Spoilers. Oh, hello.
Adorable.
My name's Abby, and I was wondering, who do you think would win in a battle, Suyu or Renge?
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think Suyu would be so overwhelmed by Renge. Let's see. Suyu or Renge? Definitely Suyu, because Renge can't fight unless she's throwing things at Tamaki, the phony prince, who I'm sitting next to all weekend, and you best believe he's gonna hear all about it.
But it could be deadly.
Huh?
But it could be deadly.
That is true. She would, I think what would happen, it would probably be a draw. Because Suyu would be ready to fight, and then Renge would be so obnoxious and loud that Suyu would be totally off her guard.
Right.
So they would just be like, oh, well, do you want to, like, maybe hang out? And then Renge would be like, why don't you come with me to the host club? Just like
Scream
that.
a lot?
She'd scream a lot, and then
Yeah.
they'd probably hang out after a while.
Right. This is a terrible, terrible fight.
Oh, Pumpkin!
Oh.
She's gonna come help you out.
Yes.
Right here. Use mine. Hi, what's your name?
Lauren.
Hi.
My question is, how long have you been acting?
We've been acting for years.
I started acting when I was 12. I am a lot older than 12 now. So a long, long time. How old are you?
9.
9.
I've been acting for like 4 of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I started acting when I was your age, actually. 9? Yeah? It's a good age. Do you act?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Sweet. You should do it all the time.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I started when I was 14, so a very long time ago.
How long have you been doing voice work?
Since I was 17. So I started voice work in 2003.
Yeah. I think same.
Yeah.
We're all around between 16 and 20 years.
20
Yeah.
years.
I hate that for you.
It
must
doesn't.
be so hard.
So here's this weird thing, Lauren, let me tell you. I know you're just 9, but when you get older, you don't feel any different.
No.
And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're in your 40s. And you're like, I feel like I'm 17. What happened? And it's been 20 years and you've been voice acting for 20 years. And people are like, hey, look at all these shows you've been in and you can remember all of them, but you don't feel any older. But you are. Being an adult is weird. Just be prepared.
Just be ready.
I want you to imagine everything she just said in Renge's voice, because from here it sounds really positive. You're like, you've been doing things for 40 years, but you still feel super young. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it really doesn't
It's
sound
better than
bad.
it's better than waking up at 21 and feeling 45. And being like, yeah. Because I've known
Yeah.
people like that. That's
Right.
like, my parents have been like 90 their whole life. Their whole life. They can't, like, they're like, they've been sitting down in chairs and like making weird groaning noises every time they have to move since they were 20. What is wrong with you? And, hell, getting old. I'm like, you're 30.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Acting helps keep you young too.
It
'cause-
does.
Yeah.
We just play pretend all the time.
It's pretty
That's
awesome.
what we do.
Yeah. It's
You should
pretty
join
awesome.
us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Larissa, and this is my friend Logan. He's just standing here for
Logan.
support.
It's good. It's good. I like
Okay,
it.
so in all 3 seasons so far, what is your most favorite moment in My Hero Academia?
It's a toss-up between.
Kami on Deku's back. Sorry,
No, go.
that was it.
What was it?
Kami on Deku's back. That's my favorite part.
For me, it's a toss-up between the moment in the alley during the Stain arc. I don't want to give spoilers for people who haven't made it that far, but like that's a really such a great moment for Tinya, because like how you feel about him is like, oh, I loved you, and then now you're making this horrible choice, and but you're paying for it in a really awful way, and I'm so sorry. It's like so complicated, and I love moments like that. But I also love moments that like sum up a character perfectly. And for me, when he is like shakily on top of the exit sign telling everyone to calm down is like my favorite Tinya moment. Like that is his life in a nutshell. Where he's like,
It's also Michael in a nutshell.
It's me in an airport.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Y'all do not know.
I love you. He is so Ida. The last time we were in an airport together, we sat down. We still had like 10 minutes to board or 5 minutes to board, and I forgot a pillow. And I was like, I'm gonna go buy a pillow. He's like, you don't have time. And I was like, I can do it, Michael. No, you don't have time. And I start running, and I come back, and I'm like, I did it. He's like, you almost gave me a heart attack.
Yeah. And so what I like to do is try to give him a heart attack by just like stirring them all the time. I'll be like, hey, Michael, we've got like 45 minutes to board. Do you think they're going to board early and leave us? Do you think that might happen?
Triggered. I'm so triggered,
He's
right
triggered.
now.
And then we went to the air. This is my favorite. We were going to the airport together earlier this month, I think. Yeah. And I told him I knew he was going to want to go like 3 hours early. I'm not even kidding. And so, yes, it is. And so I knew that if I told him that I was running late when I was loading the car to go. I knew he was gonna message me and be like, "Hey, I'm ready," and then I would reply, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be more like 3 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock. Sorry," and then he was gonna reply to me. He was gonna think about it and like not want to be late, so he was gonna drive himself, but he didn't want me to feel like he was abandoning me for my own lateness. So he would message me and say something to the effect of, "You know what, I'll just go ahead and drive myself and you don't worry about me and you can take care of yourself and take your time and you don't have to come get me." And that is exactly what happened, like to the letter. And then all I did was reply after that. I was like, "Who am I?" And then I called him laughing.
Like a horrible person.
I know. I was on my way. It was so great. So yeah, we have fun. At Michael's expense.
What's your favorite part?
Oh, I really like, well, I mean, Mount Lady's pretty fun. She has a lot of fun things, but the interview with Midnight where she's poking fun at her for being old is it's pretty amazing. I enjoy that quite a bit.
Who's not caught up right now? There's a few of you? Okay, we'll just sing la 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 for a moment. I'm gonna try to be as least spoilery as possible. I'd say, well, first of all, I had my own episode. That was pretty awesome, because up until then, I'd only ever said, like, ribbit, and that's about it. So that was pretty rad. But I think one of my new favorite is just because people are so upset with me about it is when I made you guys cry. Because everybody comes up to me and they're like, "How could you do that to me?" And I'm like,
surprisingly easy.
"I'm sorry. I was just doing my job."
Hi. My name's Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
All right, so my question is, if you could have voiced any other character, who would it have been?
I almost did. So here's a little fun little tidbit of trivia. Brina Palencia and I were both in the running for Minetta and Suyu. And Colleen basically came to us and was like, "I don't know which one I'm going to use for which, but you're both cast. I just don't know who's going to be Minetta and who's going to be Suyu." And I won.
I think you were the best pick for Suyu.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel bad for Brina. I mean, Minetta's, he's adorable, and she's so good at it, but, I mean, best girl. Sorry, Brina.
All Might, hands down. Just for the Sabbath pity party. It would be totally worth it.
I kind of want to hear your All Might now.
It would just be this. It's not about me voicing All Might. It's about Chris being sad. He didn't get All Might.
I don't know. I think I'd probably try to be Ochako. I think that would be fun.
You'd be a cute Ochako.
Yeah. I think she would be fun. But I love Lucy, so I don't. That's cool. She's great. I'm not.
What about you, Ida?
I don't know who else wears glasses. That's usually how I'm cast. Every time I'm cast in something, it feels like the most uninspired choice on behalf of the director. They're like, "You kind of look like him. You do it."
Anytime we're like, "Hey, who are you in the show?" He's like the one that looks like me.
The one that kind of looks like me. If there's ever like auditions.
You do white hair a lot too.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I feel like that's what I'm gonna look like in the future. I'm gonna get like just white hair and glasses, and like it's kind of weird. I don't know. I really, I would have liked All Might was really cool. Like I love that character, and I think he's really cool. But I mean, like no one's gonna be better than Sabbath, except maybe Jamie.
Thank you.
But that would be, I would choose All Might because I love him. He's such a good over-the-top character, and I love good over-the-top characters. I feel like Tenya is kind of in the same vein. He's like really good, but way extra. And I love him for that because that's like how I like to see myself. It's probably not true, but it's fun to pretend.
Thank you.
I think you'd be a cool Aizawa, too.
Yeah.
I thought you would have been a good Aizawa, too.
All right. I mean, let's face it, we're actors. Any role you want to give me, I'll take.
All of them.
Yeah.
My name is Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
My question is if they were going to give an arc that specifically developed your particular character, what would you want that arc to be?
Salty AF.
I think the Stain arc was such a great exploration of what Tenya was kind of put to that I can't imagine one better. I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with one, but like that was really cool.
More directed to the ladies because their characters haven't really had that much development.
Not you, Michael. So sorry.
Sorry, I'll go. It's fine. Bye, guys.
No, I really cannot wait until Kami comes back and is Kami. So I'm excited for things.
Okay, so in my mind, just now I created this. I want there to be like an in-show thing where they're like a reality show for the pro heroes, and it's all like romance inspired, right? So like Bachelorette for Mount Lady, right? But you only see clips of it in between the rest of the show. Wouldn't that be fun? Someone talk to Japan, make it happen.
I don't know. I mean, I had my episode and that was fun. I'm looking forward to season 4 because I don't keep up with the manga just because I don't have time. But I have a lot of friends that do read the manga and they're like, next season, Suyu does things. And I'm like, I get to say more than ribbit, which is awesome. But I'm like, oh, character development, I can't wait. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Please don't tell me because I wanna learn as I go. But I'm excited. Hey, Teach.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So earlier, and I agree with this, it was pointed out that you think that Suyu is the voice of reason. So my question is that excluding Bakugo, who would you say is the least team player out of Class 1A, other than Bakugo?
Mineta. I'd have to, like, if I were gonna rank Class 1A on, like, as Suyu, who I'd want to take into battle with me, I would say that Bakugo and Mineta would definitely be at the bottom. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Oh, gosh, Kaminari. He's a sweetheart, but, I mean, he zaps once, and he's like, the whole rest of the time. Like, so he'd like, be, like, good for one attack, and then you'd have to do all the work. So I probably would skip Kaminari. Oh, and gosh, what is Joel's character's name with the belly button? What's his name? Douchebag McGee. I'd probably skip him too, because he's gonna be so busy looking at himself, he can't fight. So did you almost pee? Is that what
You broke Brittany.
So hard. So yeah, those would probably be. But anybody else in Class 1A, I'd be happy to fight with. But those guys, they're all great. I love the characters. That's the one thing I love about My Hero in Class 1A specifically is all of those characters are so interesting and different. But for that reason, I think that's why some of them would be better equipped at fighting than others because, yeah. Kaminari. Sorry, he's hilarious. Have you seen Kyle do that? I got to direct an episode, and Kyle Phillips plays Kaminari, and it's absolutely hilarious because he gets to do all the like, and it's crazy. He's in the booth like shaking. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. But thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi. Oh, you look adorable.
Thank you.
Adorable.
I got here a little late, so I'm sorry if this has been asked before, but outside of animes, what is your favorite animated cartoons?
Oh, that hasn't been asked.
That was not asked. Job.
I mean, Rick and Morty's up there.
I have to watch a lot of children's cartoons because I have a 4-year-old, and out of the ones that I can like stand, I really like Troll Hunters.
Troll
It's
Hunters
enjoyable.
is good. Yeah, that is good. We watched that with the girls. Bob's Burgers is also. Oh, yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. Archer. Clearly, I watch more animated television than anyone else in this band.
I
Simpsons
watched
too.
Forensic Files.
Yes.
Which is the
if there was an
antithesis.
animated?
If there was an
Forensic
animated
File?
Forensic Files, it'd be all about it.
Oh my God, someone get on that. Do like an animated Murder Made Me Famous
Yes.
type thing. And just use like famous cartoon characters. Like Bugs Bunny was murdered by Daffy Duck, but Daffy refuses to admit
Yeah.
Found the carrot.
yeah.
I like
Like
this
they'll
idea.
do like a whole like expose on Elmer Fudd, serial murderer.
I would watch that all day long.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
What a great
I
way to
like
be.
all kinds of animated shows. Like I can't think of any off the top of my head that were like my favorite. I did like my first crush like ever on anybody anywhere in the world was on the guy who piloted the Red Lion in Voltron. I was too young to understand that he was animated apparently.
It's all right.
I think I had the same. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Cute.
He was so cute.
Right? Yeah.
There's a really, it's kind of obscure, and but I really love the animation. It's a French language animated series called Belphegor, based on a famous pulp novel that's kind of like Phantom of the Opera, but it's about this ghost that haunts the Louvre, and it's really cool. And the animation is gorgeous, and from what I understand, it actually was a huge influence on Batman the Animated Series, the original one that came out in the early '90s. Like, because the style is very similar with like a lot of bold, dark lines and like really cool, fluid things, and the music is awesome. And I love it. I would love for it to get brought over here and dubbed into English because that would be an absolute blast. But I don't think it's. I think it's owned by someone who no longer. I don't know what happened to it. Like, it's out there. You can like see little clips of it on YouTube, but it's not owned by anyone anymore, as far as anyone knows. So it's just kind of in the ether. So I would love to somehow get it and bring it over. Everyone's listening. Belphegor, go find it. Like, start a petition, write your congressman. I don't know how that works.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
All right, doing good. My name's Elliot, and I was just wondering, like, do you think any of the other characters you voice act and other things would get along with your characters in My Hero?
It would matter what characters, I think.
know. I
You
mean,
know,
probably.
Or I guess what I mean to say is which character?
Oh, like which character that we
Would get
voiced would
along the
be our
most.
bestie?
Yes.
This might take me a moment.
Okay, I feel like Black Star and Bakugo could be best friends.
Oh
'Cause
my
they're
gosh.
really annoying. They could
Oh.
annoy each other all day.
Yeah.
But I feel like Wendy would be good with everyone because she's nice.
Yeah.
You can't offend her.
You know what? The fairy tale. Yeah, I think Kana and Mount Lady would have a great time together. Yeah. Wouldn't you watch that?
I
Oh my
would.
gosh.
Drinking games.
Yes.
I think Tenya and Kyoya would get along really well. If only because I feel like from Kyoya's perspective, Tenya would be like a responsible version of Tamaki. Like the same hyperactivity and the same all my ducks have to be in a row, but he actually isn't just like, woo, crazy rich kid that just wants to have an animal kingdom in the north. Like that would be a cool friendship to have. Yeah.
Suyu is so agreeable. Like, I feel like she'd get along with anybody. I was trying to think if I've played any other amphibious characters, and I have. There's a show called Short Piece. It's a movie. It's his favorite. I play a singing frog.
Oh.
It's all about,
like, hello, my baby. Hello.
pretty much, but different.
Okay.
He's got a little umbrella, and he's singing about, because it's called Possessions is the short, and it's all about sustaining and reusing and recycling. And so he sings a song about used and abused and and he's like dancing with the thing. So I feel like Suyu and this frog would have fun because they're frogs. They could eat flies together and sing a little ditty.
Yeah.
But I really feel like Suyu and Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card would get along really well. In fact, there was an episode where Sakura has like a little raincoat outfit that Tomoyo makes for her that looks like a frog. And so
Aw.
Ron actually bought me a t-shirt that has Sakura in her little frog outfit next to Suyu, and it's really cute. I should have worn that today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would like to see Sue and Stocking just for fun.
Suyu
Together.
and Stocking. I don't
know.
even know what would happen there.
But I would watch it. I know. It would be great.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You
you.
have a good day.
Good question.
Okay, this is gonna be fun. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. My name's River, and I was wondering, as actors and people that have been in the field for so long, when you guys kind of are feeling burnt out, what inspires you to keep pushing forward?
Cash, paper.
Money.
$100 bills, yo.
I think going to conventions and meeting you guys and getting to like geek out about the stuff that we work on and like, because here's the thing, we all record individually. So it's not like we all get together and hang out and talk about our shows and stuff. And people in our lives that aren't affiliated with anime in any way, you know, I can sit there and tell Ron all day long about, I played this character and it was so cool. And he's like, and he's trying his best to be, yes, I'm very interested. And you can tell that he's like on the phone, So we don't really get to like geek out about like what we're excited about our characters or talk about our characters. And I think, I don't know if I speak for everyone, but I feel like most actors, our goal in life is to touch people. I think this is true of any artist. Touch people's lives somehow through our art. So the only way we get to see whether or not we're doing that, like we're successful, is to go to conventions and then see you guys and to have you guys come up and go, oh my gosh, that character, or oh my gosh, that show really touched me. That's what keeps me going. I know.
Absolutely.
Like, it's definitely you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's also very hard to get burnout with voice acting because our characters change so much. So it's not like we're doing one character. I mean, yes, we've done, like, Fairy Tale has been going on for, like, what, 3,000 years now? Something like that? Let's bring more. We love it, though. So we have those characters, but they don't get old and we're also doing all of these other characters. So, you know, if we go in for one session, we may do 4 or 5 different characters in that one day. So it's very hard to get burnout on it because it's a really fun job, you know? Yeah. And we're all pretty... We know how lucky we are. We know.
Absolutely.
#blessed.
Gratitude.
It's also really fun because as actors, you know, one of the things we always want to do when you're starting out is like, I want to, you know, what can I do? I want to explore my range. Like I can play that, I can play that. But voice acting gives you so much more opportunity than like stage or film, because in those avenues you're really limited by how you look and your age and all those things, and none of that matters as far as a voice director is concerned. Like they're like, no, can you sound like that? Then I don't care. So I get to explore more of my dramatic range as a voice actor than I would ever get a chance to on film, and it's great. So it is tough to get burned out. But like Monica said too, it's coming to cons is such a cool thing. Someone said before, like, without you guys, we're just crazy people in padded rooms making funny voices, and it's true.
It's true.
It's true.
But there are times when like you'll be in a show and it might be a character that maybe you had 3 hours with at some point, like 4 years ago. And it was like, cool, it was part of the job, you enjoyed it, but then you forgot about it. And then your whole relationship to the idea of having been part of that show changes because you see how it's touched someone else and they come up to you and say, thank you for that performance, or they just give you a note. Like, it's so wonderful. It changes our perspective on what we do. Because it's easy as an actor, like, to be isolated and to be like, yeah, cool, I did the thing, and then you come home, and then you just have a quote-unquote normal life, but coming to cons, you suddenly realize, wow, no, things that we do get out there, and people make things out of it, and it's kind of awesome to feel part of this large community. So yeah, it's really hard to get burned out, and that feeling of connectedness that you guys bring us. So, by the way, thank you, all of you.
Thank you
so much. Yes.
And also, I will add to that, I feel like seeing cosplay is one of my favorite things ever. Like, ever. I get so geeked out about it, and I'll be sitting at the table, I'm like, ooh, I know that show. Like, I just get so happy. So thank you guys, and it's so legit now. It's like, used to be, like masking tape, and now it's like, you guys, oh my gosh, you look like so great.
Yeah. And then there's weird things that happen. Like, I have to tell a little story real quick, because yesterday, so one of the cosplay guests was dressed as Suyu yesterday, and I was in the green room, and I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? And she's like, yeah. So we're taking a picture, and Alice Cooper walks up. And he's like, you're from that show. And I was like, huh? And she goes, isn't she? She's from that show. And I was like, My Hero Academia? He goes, yeah, it's on Adult Swim, Saturdays, right?
Alice Cooper
watches My Hero!
Oh my God.
Like, and I was trying not to geek out, because I was like, oh, yeah, that's it. I'm so glad that's great.
Oh my gosh, my mind is so blown right now.
So cool.
That's, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So that's kind of weird too.
Both the guys are like, what happens over there?
That's so great. Oh my God, yeah.
But thank you for that question. That was a good one. Yeah.
It's going to really embolden me to go up to Alice Cooper in the green room and like, hi, I play Tenya. Because normally I'm like, it's Alice Cooper. I can't talk to him. Hi.
Hi. My name is Ellie, and my question is, what quirks do you think that the members of the host club would have?
Tamaki would definitely have the navel.
I feel like Tamaki would be more like the like
Oh,
that
that's
character,
true,
'cause
yeah.
that's just him anyway.
Yeah.
I think Kyoya would have like the Midas touch. That would be
Yes.
He would have the quirk that you were talking about earlier.
Renge would have like the opposite of Jiro. Like Jiro has the supersonic hearing. She'd have like the supersonic voice that can just like knock everybody over with its obnoxiousness, like
Like present. Yeah, right.
She already has that. I feel like that. She has a quirk. Oh my God. We didn't know that, guys.
I can
There's a crossover
speak
universe.
for the Lobelia girls. Those ladies would have the quirk to steal your thunder.
Ooh, that is true. We are Thunder Stealers.
We are.
That's a good question.
And the twins would be shapeshifters, like Wonder Twin powers activate.
Yes.
Form
Lobelia
of
girls
something awful.
And Honey would just kill you with cuteness. Have the ability to like have little hearts come out of his eyes and just murder you with hearts.
What would Maury's be? Maury's would be like, it had to be something ironic, like maybe he can be tiny, he can shrink to like he'll be like Ant-Man. Where'd Maury go? Ah, good, he's not here. We can talk about him. And then
Maury's
hey.
kind of like the Groot of Oron High School Host Club. You know what I mean? I love him, but he is. He's kind of like, I am Maury. Maury, I am Maury.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
What has been your favorite character to voice act, and could you do their voice?
It's really tough to pick favorites, especially when we've been doing this for as long as we have, because we're old. Because I don't know about you guys, but when you play these characters, even if it's a character that you're only with for a little while, you know, like they become part of you in a weird way. Like maybe to you, it was Soldier A who said freeze and get shot and killed immediately. Been plenty of those, but to me, that's Ralph. He has a family. And he becomes like a permanent feature of my psyche. And the characters that you spend a lot of time with, they're up here and they come out in weird ways. They just become part of your life after that. And so like, the favorites question fills me with anxiety because I'm like, oh, I want to pick a favorite because it's a good question and I love you. But if I said Sebastian, which wouldn't be wrong, I would have Kyoya and 500 other characters going, huh, cool, awkward.
Yeah, do you have, like, this is what happens to me when somebody goes, who's your favorite character? I suddenly get this mental image of like 500 people going, pick me, pick me, pick me. And I'm like, I can't pick one of my babies.
Right. I mean, I could definitely pick one of my babies, but no. I would be more like, okay, out of 350 babies, 500 babies, 500 babies, hundreds and hundreds of babies. All of the babies. Like, I could probably pick 10 that I'm like, yeah, I like those the best. They get the most done. But the hard part, though, is then if I say what my favorites are, then I get anxious that I'm not going to say someone else's favorite, and then I'm going to hurt someone's feelings. It shouldn't be this complicated of a question, but it turns out
Not only that, but they're so different. A lot of your characters are so unique and different from each other. Like,
and it depends on the day, right?
Yeah, you can't compare like Migi and Blackstar and Wendy. They're all so different.
Yeah.
I also play all the best girls.
Well,
hey. I will say though, for me sometimes, and I'm sure this is true of you guys too, the character-y voices, the ones that are very different and weird, like Mayrin, you know, this is a lot of fun to do, of course, talking like this all day long.
Yeah. Or Suyu, you know, doing the Suyu voice is fun.
Or like when I get to be Michiko Melandro and talk like this, like
that kind of stuff is fun because it's not your normal everyday. But I can't pick a favorite baby.
Right. I'm gonna say Junko, because she has like 8 voices, and one of them is my Monica, and one of them is my Michael. The one with the glasses is definitely Michael. It's totally everything. And then the one with the princess is Monica. And then Lukua, because you're here, I love her too. Off the top, she has horns. Like, it's very easy. I can spot you. I saw you over there, and I was like, Lukua! But I didn't want to say it. It was very rude. So, narrator from Hitalia. That's on the top of a Panty from Panty and Stocking. I mean, you know, there's so many. Mount Lady, of course. Kana, of course.
We're really bad at picking.
Yeah. Monica and I are Libras. Like, that's one of our things.
Also, that's kind of why we became actors, because we couldn't decide who we wanted to be when we grew up.
Right, exactly.
So we're like, we want to be all the things.
I want to be everything.
Yeah. We're also kind of afraid in the back of our minds that you have a special power, and if we pick a favorite character, you're going to turn us into that character, and we're stuck with that person forever.
I do
And
not
maybe
want to
I'm
be
like,
Miggy,
Yeah,
ever.
and I don't want to be Kyoya. I mean, maybe for a day, but if forever, ooh, that get old.
Oh my gosh, what if we had to be Nanachi and Mitty?
No.
There's a show called Made in the Abyss. It's really good, but Brittany and I have some majorly messed up situations.
I cried. I actually cried. It's sad.
Ew, now that's all I can think about.
Thanks for bringing the room down, guys.
Right.
Thank you for your
our
question.
non-answer. Thank you.
Nah, how unfortunate.
FYI, we have about 10 minutes left of the panel.
So let's go-
We'll try
go
to get as
quickly
many
and we'll
people
answer
as we
quickly.
can, but we may not be able to get to everyone. So I apologize now.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Taylor, and I was just wondering, what are some of your favorite moments that you've messed up on, like bloopers, while you're recording My Hero?
Oh, I never mess up. Perfect.
Never.
Every time.
It never happens.
They call me
We're
One
very
Take Tatum.
professional. I don't know if you didn't get that. We're very professional.
I don't think I have any on My Hero, but my favorite blooper I've ever was on Burst Angel. And I played.
I play this character, Joe. She's really low voice.
I love her so much in the show.
But my line is I was supposed to say, "Wipe that smirk off your face," and I went,
"Wipe that Smurf off your face."
And then I started giggling in my regular voice, which is. And Bevins was like, "It's so weird to hear you go from like
way down here to."
Yeah. Mine is actually a mess up that got us in the booth together because we don't normally record together. It's like in anime, I've never done it except one time, and it was because it was during the panty and stocking transformation scene where they mess up their lines because they forget what they are. And even though I had written it, clearly it was very hard to play off the person when they weren't there. So Colleen just ended up having us both come in the booth at the same time because we kept messing up. And so we actually got to record that at the same time, which was really fun.
I don't have any from My Hero bloopers because,
because we're professional.
Bloopers
We're professional
on that one. But I did when I was recording Senran Kagura. I kept saying food instead of what I was supposed to be saying. So I'd be like, and I mean biscuits, or like I'd be like, oh yeah, rice. I don't know why. I just kept doing
pregnant
it.
at the time?
I was.
Maybe that's what it was.
I was very hungry.
I had a similar experience to Monica when I was voicing Scar for the first time in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I was a really big fan of the show, and so when I got to do it, I was super excited. And so because of that, like the first line we recorded as Scar actually went like this: "Foolish alchemists who turn their backs on the ways of God shall be punished," followed by So yeah, but no real bloopers on My Hero. It's usually just me laughing at Tenya because like he's in the background being like ah. There's like a whole episode, but that's all he's doing, and I'd be like I'm sorry, Colleen, I can't keep doing this. This is hysterical. But, yeah.
I have an entire blooper reel that I never found out about that was from B Gotta HK, but you have to be 18 to listen to that.
I love that show.
Thank you.
Hi. My name is Alexa. Have you ever had the chance to voice act in a group? And if so, what was the most memorable session you had?
Said it.
I have only done that one time, and it was old ADV films, and we did Go Danner. And it was actually kind of not cool because what would happen is while you're there, the mics are really hot. So if somebody's stomach growls in the middle of your scream, or they go drink water and then they're like, then you hear it and you just would have to redo things over and over and over again because someone has indigestion or something. So
it's like chewing ice, maybe. Yeah.
And
like
I
that.
realized why we record individually when we did that, because people record at different paces. And so, like, if you're really fast and then somebody else is really slow and then they feel bad because they're holding up the session, or blah.
Yeah. And then you're just like, can you wait to drink water until I'm... Yeah.
Hi, my name's Lauren.
Hello.
My question would be for you, Monica. Yes. It is between Suyu or Tsubaki, who would win in the fight?
While you think about that, is that a Boston Terrier on your bag?
Yes.
I love it! I have 2 Boston Terriers. I feel like I could spot that a mile away too. It was like Boston Terrier.
So Black Star is not there.
No.
well, then Suyu would win because Tsubaki can't do a whole lot without her Meister. But I would say this. I think that both of them are so sweet and patient that they probably would like start fighting and then realize how much they have in common because, you know, Tsubaki has to deal with Black Star and Suyu has to deal with Bakugo, that they'd probably just sit down and have a powwow and just like vent.
I like that.
And get it all out.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, you need help? I got you.
Thank you. I know.
Hi, Pitch. What's your real name?
Piper.
Hi, Piper.
So, if Tanya ever got a sharp blow to the head and became a villain, and he used his villain voice, how would all the other heroes react? Like, they probably wouldn't be able to take him seriously. If he just used his
And so in other words, nothing would change. He would just laugh, that villain laugh all the time and be like, oh, it's Tenya, he got kicked in the head, it's fine. I think if he was a villain, his MO would be like just to like hound people to be punctual. That would be his like evil thing. He would be like, you're going to be on time if it's the last thing you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shout out Piper for that mic technique.
Right?
Nicely done.
Hey.
Piper. Whoever named you well.
Hi, my name is Maddie, and this is my friend Parker. And I
Hi,
was
Maddie and
wondering,
Parker.
what's your opinion on Monoma?
Monoma?
Yeah.
What's Monoma?
All I can think of is
the guy
Monoma.
that hates Class 1A.
Oh.
That's blonde.
Because
that's
in my
fine.
head, I was like, Monoma.
Yeah, me too. Monoma. Monoma.
Sorry, that's me. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
How could you not like Class 1A? Like, how could you not like
Because
one
they're
Class
class
1A?
1B.
Exactly. They're just jealous. They haters.
They're jealous. They're average.
So
All the kids are lame.
They're basic. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'm going to have that stuck in my head.
I know, sorry.
Manamana.
I mean, it was immediate.
Hi, my name's Haley.
Hi.
So, who is one of your favorite people to work with?
Everyone on this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all have really good chemistry together, I think. All
We
of us
do,
do. And it may be
yeah.
because we're actually very, very good friends in real life. So that could be what it is, but
Somebody yelled out Chris Sabat, and yes, I do enjoy. If you guys have paid attention in the last 10 years for whatever reason, and anytime my characters are always in love with Michael's characters, but it's always unrequited. His characters never love my characters back. But then
It's true.
Sabat and I always end up married or a couple, and it's the weirdest thing because he's like way down in here, and I'm way up here. I don't know how that works, but it works.
It's good.
Jeremy
good
Lee
counterbalance.
too. I like
Yeah.
working with her.
That's a good thing about voice acting. Everybody's so chill and cool. Like I really can't think of anybody I don't like working with.
No.
Oh, I can't tell you.
It's also really sweet, like he's not here, but since we're all talking about my hero, it's really, really awesome to work with Justin Briner, who is one of the
Adorable.
sweetest, coolest human beings
Adorable.
in the
He's so
world.
fresh.
He saved us from getting mugged in Portland, Oregon a few weeks ago. Huh?
He really is like Deku. Like he's real life
He
Deku.
is. Like I'm not
really
kidding you.
did.
Like I'm just gonna tell this story because he'd be really
so
embarrassed
good.
by it. But like we were getting into our lift car. This was at a con several weeks ago in Portland. We were out really late, and long story short, this guy just came up and he was like, "I want all of you to give me money," and we were like, "No." And Justin just like, "No, you have to go." And he tried to close the door, and the guy wouldn't let him close the door, and he was getting in the car with us, which is super awkward. And so Justin just kind of looked at all of us because he was the only one like in any position to do anything. And so Justin just goes, so he like grabbed the guy, pulled him in off his feet, and then shoved him out onto the street and closed the door and was like, "Okay, we should go now." And we're like, meow. And I was like, "Justin, you just saved us." And he's like, yeah, I was like, "You just saved us." I mean, boy has got technique. He was a total ninja about it. He was like, "Ooh," because at first I'm like, "Are you bringing him into the car with us?" You're like, "That's not." He's like, "No, which I'm like, "I wouldn't have thought to do that." Justin, you're a hero.
He's a hero. He's a hero.
He is hero.
Hi, I'm Haley.
Hi,
and,
Haley.
I just found it on YouTube earlier this week, but can you tell us anything about season 2 of Confessionals, the web series?
Oh,
Like,
I
no,
don't
no,
really
absolutely.
know.
haven't heard
They're hoping to do more with it, but I mean these things can
Yeah.
end up in development limbo for a long time. So I don't know. I know that the creators want to do more with it, but when we'll have the time or the funding, who knows? So I don't know. We're actors, so we're the last to know.
That's true.
Like, oh, hey, by the way, Confessionals is getting a new season. Can you be here tomorrow? That's when we find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Goal Intentions, by the way.
Yay!
Thank you. Are you coming to the panel tonight? Yes, you
Oh,
are.
good.
Awesome.
Good.
Okay. Hi, my name's John.
Hi, John.
My question is, if your characters broke the fourth wall and came into the real world, where would you see yourselves in 5 years?
That's amazing.
That is incredible.
That was great. I want to be an astronaut.
Oh. Oh. Wait, so Suyu is in the real world and 5 years from now?
Yes.
You're thinking it. You're thinking way too much about the question.
Yeah,
It
I'll
was
tell
an
you what
awesome
mine
question.
is. Their Kardashians would be no more. It would be all Mount Ladians.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
100%.
I don't even know. I think Suyu would probably be like, she would be a hero. She'd be out there saving people and doing her thing, and maybe like, maybe she'd be a fisherman. You know, because of the tongue, it'd be really easy to like, and like pick up fish. I don't know.
Tenya
Maybe
would
she'd
work.
get into textiles.
Tenya would work for the TSA. Let's be real.
Oh my god.
Like that would be. He would be that guy.
So sad.
Yeah.
I feel
Toes
like-
on the line, please.
Take off your shoes.
Take off your shoes. Everything out of your pockets. That's just him in the mirror at home practicing.
I think Kami would not change very much, is what I would imagine. She'd still be super sexy. Maybe she'd be like a sexy mom or something.
Nice.
I don't know, but yeah, she'd still be salty.
And last question.
Last question.
Hi, I'm Ray, and I like to ask questions that have nothing to do with the panel.
Great.
What's your taste in music? Like, what's on your Spotify playlist?
Well, Ghoul Intentions, first of all, is on my Spotify. It's a ghost story podcast that Michael and I host. We tell ghost stories and history of ghost stories, and we have our first live show is tonight at 10:15 in panel room 4. It's for the older crowd because it just is.
Because it gets that
So
scary.
I'll say that first. I'll say that. I like anything but country, but like pop country. Like, no. And then I don't like it when people scream at me too much.
I literally like everything. Like every once in a while, I'll put in like some Static X or some Mudvayne and be like, "Bleh!" And then sometimes I'll put on the Beatles and I'm like, oh yeah. Recently though, I'm really into Billie Eilish. Yes, her voice. If you guys have not heard her, so here's a funny story. This is when it's fun to be friends with Chris Sabat. Not that it's not always fun to be friends with Chris Sabat, but he called me one day and he was like, "Hey, you guys have to come to this thing with me." And we were like. And Ron ended up being not able to go, so I went with him by myself. And I was like, what are we doing? What is this? And it turns out that his friend owns an art gallery that had a private concert with Billie Eilish. So I got to see Billie Eilish and her brother perform with like 10 people there. It was the coolest thing, and she's so good. She's 16, and she's so good. It's cool.
My
She sounds
playlist is very like classical and jazz, but I also really love heavy metal and like death metal. I do. I totally do. I'll listen to Bach on one day, and the next day I'm listening to like Blind Guardian or
So just
something.
Ida.
Yeah. That's just. I love it if it's loud and like really complicated, and it offends people, and I can play it out of my car at stoplights, and it makes people not want to look over.
Yeah.
That's my music.
I like hip hop. I am really into hip hop. But I also like old country, just old country though.
Yeah, not pop country.
Yeah, like really old country. And I actually really don't like heavy metal. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't. I'm just like, I can't. That and Bjork. Can't do it. I'm sorry.
You're like that and
one
Bjork. I
song of
can't
hers,
do-
and then the rest of them all sound the same. I can't. No. Other than that, I think I'm eclectic. I like a lot of stuff.
Yes.
That was a fun question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.